We were very good at the start.
Yeah.
We were very disciplined.
We'd have an annual directors' summit.
Which was a nice escape from the kids.
Which was a nice escape from the kids. But also it was, and everyone sort of laughs when we say a director's summit, but, we'd actually go away to a nice place and have nice food and all that sort of thing. But we'd spend a couple of days actually sitting at a table and working. So we'd go in with an agenda and, we'd minute it and we'd do all that. And then you take that away the next year and you look at it and you go, well, these were the objectives we set back then. Have we met them?
But it has to be said too that it wasn't just for business; it was family planning as well.
Yeah, we did it as a whole.
As this is an extension of the first comment, that the business is really an extension of the relationship and the family and the whole gamut. And so, we were planning the impact of when a child arrived, or and all of this came into the planning, the annual planning. So we were quite meticulous with all of that. Until
it's a bit embarrassing looking at the old programs, where child 2 is programmed in here, child 4
we were very organised. Didn't all work to plan always.
No, it didn't work to plan at all.
But what I was going to say was the GFC kind of hit us hard in 2010.
Well, yeah, so the slowdown started obviously in 2008 where the phone stopped ringing. And we contracted from, I think we were about 10 or 11 people at that stage down to no one. In fact, there was a period in 2010 where we just packed the office into a garage storage unit. We had some work that was ongoing, town planning applications, but from experience we knew they would take 6 months to come out of the other end. So we boxed the whole thing up and took the whole family overseas and lived in Italy for 4 months.
Yeah, that was in 2010. That was in
2010. Coming back from that, I suppose, just in terms of that earlier question about the planning, coming back from that, we were in a fairly we sort of went into this sort of very defensive position where we just kept the office small. So there was no sort of forward planning because there was nothing much changing from year to year. So until maybe 3 years ago, where the business started to re-establish itself from that sort of position, where we felt we could actually now sort of expand slightly. But I've got to say, I think the intention is that we don't get too big. We've during that small stage, we sort of when we had some bigger projects come in, and what worked really well was doing joint ventures with other bigger architects. And we're sort of clued into that process now where, we're good as a small practice doing design, and that's what we do. Documentation really, we can potentially send that out off to Czechoslovakia or, some...
We haven't done that yet.
We haven't done that yet, but, it's becoming pretty common that the documentation, you can farm it out and just monitor it. So I don't see the need or really the desire to get that big.
Take on